Hasbro, you're gonna make me go broke. I mean, this year was an amazing year for action figures. So many good releases. I couldn't even decide which ones I really wanted and which ones I had to pass on. But today I have two very special action figures. I'd say it was only recently that I really got into Star Wars, but once I did, it changed my life. I mean, it's probably the nerdiest thing ever. I've been really trying to, expand my Black Series collection. I don't have that many figures, and, the ones I do have, they're kind of older. I mean, thank God you decided to redo, Obi-Wan and Anakin, because I have the older figures, and they're bad. Like, they suck. I mean, they were good for their time, but they suck. So I'm glad I got, two new figures for my collection. I'm just gonna stop talking and get to the review. Here are the boxes up close. As you can see, it looks pretty bare with just the figure and lightsaber. There's the artwork on the side and the back. So let's break them open. So this is what the figures look like out of their packaging, and let's take a closer look at them. This is what Obi-Wan looks like, and I am not sure how I feel about these figures, honestly. I mean, the joints are pretty stiff, but that could just be that he's brand new, or who knows, maybe that's just how Hasbro figures are. And they all single jointed legs, can only bend that far. Feet can bend that much forward. I think the detailing is pretty nice. You can definitely see a little creases in the robes. And let's take a look at the head. This is what his head looks like. And I do see Ewan McGregor in there. You can definitely tell it's him. This is what his lightsaber hilt looks like. Pretty detailed, I would say. And mine did come a little bent, though. But this piece does come off. That way, if you wanted, you can have him with it on his belt and have him displayed like that. This is what he looks like standing next to the older Obi-Wan Black Series figure. He is a little shorter. You can definitely tell the color differences. And on the older figure, his legs are actually double jointed. And look at that head sculpt. Yeah, that is definitely not Ewan McGregor. Now, personally, I do like the older lightsaber more than the newer one. I think this matches the movie way more accurately than this one. I don't remember it being this dark gray in Revenge of the Sith. You can also tell the detail is very different. The color of the belts. This old figure actually has a cloth piece, and this one does not. I don't remember his boots being this red. I thought they were more brown, so that is a big difference. And on the older one, his head seems really small for his body. I think they did a good job updating, the head for the actor who played Obi-Wan. I actually had this guy on my shelf as my main Obi-Wan for a while, so it's good to have an all-new sculpt, an updated figure, to be able to replace this old one. It would be cool for these Black Series to come with more accessories other than just a lightsaber. No extra hands. You know, all the Black Series have these same exact hands for some reason. I mean, it looks like he's gonna pull a trigger even though he doesn't come with a blaster. But yeah, this is all you get for retail price. That is my review for the Obi-Wan figure. Let's move on to the Anakin. Here is what the Anakin Skywalker Black Series looks like, and honestly, I love it way more than I actually really like the Obi-Wan. This, I think, just has a lot more detail considering, you know, the costume of the actor. And look at the detail on the boots is amazing. You know, his his arms, the belt. Here is what Anakin's lightsaber looks like. Very detailed. I do really like it. And this piece also comes off. I really like the head sculpt on this one. I really do see Hayden Christensen in there. And this figure has the same articulation as the Obi-Wan single jointed arms and legs. So let's compare him to the older figure. Here is what the figures look like standing side by side on the front, the side, and then the back. And again, I think he's a little smaller than this figure, but my goodness, the difference is insane. This one is old, so the colors might be faded, but just the difference. I think the boots look better on the older one. The older figure also has double jointed legs. Not as much detail, I would say, on the arm. You know, the colors seem very different. The head sculpts are really different. And for the older figure, I also have the Sith Eyes head sculpt. It would have been nice for a newer one to come with that, but like I said, they don't come with any accessories besides a lightsaber. Now, originally these guys did come in a 2-pack, which was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive and very expensive. So I did want to get that one, but I decided to wait because I knew they were gonna release the figures, you know, by themselves. So I would just get those instead because it'd be way cheaper. That will be all for today. If you want, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I do have 2 Instagrams. One is paradox.edits1940. The other is paradox_creations_. And on TikTok, it's paradox.film.